Hello guys, we're going to get started here in just a minute. Just going to share this link here. Hi Star Fox, how you doing? I'm doing good. Alright, we're going to be starting off with Eli's promotion here tonight. As last night was, this tonight is a point. The bonus tonight is 2.9 1 point per 2.9 count. We're opening things up with a barbed wire death match between Kyo and Angel. Alright, let's see how it goes here.
Fight!
Now, the explosions for this match are set off at the 15-minute mark, so we'll have to see how if that's where it comes to. It doesn't always, because this match is a pretty brutal style here.
Give up?
A little head wrenching right there.
Give up?
Oh, backbreaker. Goes for a cover. Doesn't get a count.
Give up?
Punch trading. Looks like Kyo's bleeding. Oh, he went to super kick. Another backbreaker. Goes for a big stretch right here.
Give up?
Yeah, it is, exactly. Just freaking brutalness. Oh, big arm drag. Oh, goes for a dragon sleeper. Ooh, right in the face. And then a super kick. Right in the chair shot. A snap suplex. Another suplex. Goes for a cover.
2.
Only got 2 with that. DDT. Goes for a sharpshooter.
Give up. Give up.
Big suplex. Oh, once again, shatters it. Angel's in trouble here. Yeah, it was a very nice counter. Oh, hits her with fire! Counters. Goes for an arm bar here.
Give up. Yeah.
Oh, the Rachi breaker. Goes for a cover.
1, 2.
Only got 2 there.
10 minutes gone.
Nice chair swipe. Ah, sheets and barbs. Sheets more barbs. Oh boy. Ah, big kick combo. Grabs a sledgehammer. Misses a swing. Oh, backslide counter.
1, 2.
Only gets 2. And the suplex. Ooh, more barbs for real here. Oh, it goes for a sharpshooter.
Give up. Give up.
Weekend. No worries, Gray Man. I get ya. It was a busy weekend. You know, Labor Day and everything. Oh, Dragon Sleeper.
Give up.
Oh, some punch training. You guys got 1 minute before the explosion. I don't know. Oh, wins it with a super kick. Oh, Frankensteiner. Oh, right in the face. Oh. Oh, wait. Ah. Looks like Izumi declared the winner here. Once the ref comes to, that is. Signaling for it, yeah. Yeah, he got caught him in a taunt right there. You know, ugh. 94, great opener right here. No 2.9s in that one. Next match here is going to be a tornado tag match between... Yeah, it is. Next is a tornado tag match. Here, let me see. Tornado tag match between... Let's see here. Let's see. Mai and Blue Mary. And they're going against Angel and Kula. Let's see how it goes. First of all, and that reminds me, Gray Man, have you had a chance to think of what theme you want for your wrestler yet? I know you just said you were busy this weekend, but I was just curious. Okay. Taunts and theme are the biggest ones, really. That's really the only one. Yeah, Patrick, he'll text ya. He'll definitely text ya. Yeah, just taunts and theme. That's really it, really. I mean, the name you can change if you want to, but as is, it's workable. Really just the taunts and the entrance music is really the big one right there. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, easily he'll send quite a bit, yeah. But yeah, if you need like, if you know what kind of style of music you want, but you're not sure on a specific track, let me know, and I can like maybe find some I can find some like tracks or something like that. I'll send them over you. I'll send them over to you and see if any work. Because I know some guy. I know when creating this stuff, I know there's just certain areas that some guys struggle with more than others. Because it is stuff that you wouldn't normally think of. Because we're used to like wrestling games giving you limitations, so you just kind of work with it. We're not used to like wrestling games that are just like, oh yeah, just put in whatever. Ooh, big power bomb.
Give up.
Yeah, exactly. Big sharpshooter there. Yeah. Big knee drop there. But yeah, like I said, I mean, if you have like an idea of like, you know, like what kind of music you want, but you don't have like a specific track, or if you just want a different wrestler's theme in general, like let's say you want like the Hulk Hogan theme, for example, or something like that. You know, if you just want to just have just a popular theme in general, that's okay too.
One, two, three. Give up. Give up. Give up. Give up. Give up. Give up. Give up.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. that makes sense. That makes sense for sure, because in this game you can put taunts in the entrances.
Break.
Tag team neck breaker. Very chaotic match here.
10 minutes gone.
Give up.
A lot of submission
Give
moves
up.
being used here. Counter. Ah, sleeper hold.
Give up. Give up.
DDT. High kick counter from that. Power bomb goes for a cover.
1, 2.
Oh, two. Oh, rock bottom. Ooh, big side suplex. Ooh, nice flying drop kick from the top rope. Oh, jumping neck breaker. A lot of taunting, a little taunting there. Oh, rolling Harlan hangover. Got an armbar.
Give up. Give up. Give up. One,
DQ punches.
3, 4.
Oh, yeah, I got let it go to 4 there. Another rock bottom.
Break.
Ooh, Survivor's Banquet just landed right there.
3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, she stole the finishing maneuver.
11, 12, 13.
The ref can't see it though. He's too distracted by outside work there.
Give up. Give up. Give up.
Hi, Kareem. How you doing? Oh, here comes
Give up.
Shermie.
Give up.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy. Looks like Shermie's helping Angel and Kula here. Yeah, it does happen from time to time. Like, they'll grab a weapon on their way in, or they'll come in with... I've seen sometimes they come in with a weapon, but a lot of times they'll come in, like, and grab a weapon from under the apron. Sometimes, I don't know, I don't always pay attention to it because it's always a shock to see someone, because it's random. Oh, big power bomb. Backslide. Oh, look at that. And we were about to get more interference, but too late. No more 2.9s there. A lot of like submission attempts. I got an 88 though. And 2001 didn't have mouthpiece, just like on the cover of Facebook. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's happened sometimes. Sometimes games, because I think for that game, because Eddie George was the guy, and they kind of went with the best picture of him in action. I mean, yeah, the apparel he used wasn't in the game, and I think they might have. I don't know if I think they might have been aware of that, but I think also at the same time, you also have to keep in mind it was the first game for the PS2, so a lot of work went into porting the game over and giving it everything they could. Now, eventually they did add those aspects to the game, but it took them a bit because doing sports games yearly is a lot of work, and when you have competition, it's even more stressful. So the little details doesn't always get addressed in a timely manner, unfortunately. I will say though, it would be interesting to have like a documentary on like the development of sports games and the work and the details that go into it, because I think there's a lot of cool things you could see with them and kind of learn like why they did things a certain way and whether it was the right decision or not. This final match for Eli here, his third match, is Hager versus Mr. Karate in a landmine death match. See how it goes. Eli having a fantastic night tonight. Oh yeah, because Gray Man, exactly, because as the games went on, when the technology got better, it became easier to do those things. But it got to a point where they went crazy with it because they could, and the expectations were there, so that's what they did. It's just, and that's the trick with creating stuff. No matter how much stuff you put in the game, there's always going to be that one thing that the creators just didn't get to, because it's just that wide open of a game. Yeah, NHL 98. NHL 98's a good game. I played both the PlayStation and the Genesis versions. Yeah, because Madden 2002, they added a bunch of different stuff. Like, for those early games, they tended to prioritize the gameplay and all the main modes and stuff over creation features. They usually left the creation features whenever they had spare time, or when they were making the sequel, if they, because I feel like for when they make those games, they have to budget time for certain things, and they have to prioritize certain things over others. So when they first came out, there wasn't really competition for player creation, because they had to compete with everyone else, so they had to blow out of the park everywhere. So once they did that, they were able to focus on creation in later installments because they had the solid base build. But the early ones, they didn't have that base yet. It was an ongoing thing. They didn't really, in my opinion, they didn't really fully get the base down until probably 04, 05, because that's when you start seeing them doing those little things.
5 minutes gone.
Yeah, exactly. Like, in the later ones, you start seeing the little details. Oh yeah, I can't be getting to it. Yeah, I know there's a little bit of a delay. from certain ends because of internet stuff. So it can be a little weird when spinning tombstone.
Give up. Give up.
Yeah, the spinning tombstone. Because that is technically what I have it labeled in the game is that's incredible. Because that's just Incredible's finishing move, the spinning tombstone.
Give up. Give up. Give up. Come on.
Apparently lands a drop kick. Scotty's bleeding pretty profusely here. Oh, big clothesline. With extra gloves, fingers out, all face mask. Oh yeah, Kareem. 03 did include some stuff, and then 04 they included a little bit more, and they kind of kept going until they got to a point where they were probably like, oh, powerbomb with the cover. Oh, we got a 2.9 for Eli. First one of the night for him.
10 minutes gone.
Yeah, it just took them a bit, but they did get there eventually. It's just that I think player creation in sports games wasn't a fully focused thing in terms of details until, like, later on, because so much of the sports game was dependent on other aspects of the game itself. Because the thing, it's unlike wrestling, because with wrestling, creating individual guys is, like, you need to have that. But with sports games, it wasn't prioritized right away because sports games were about teams, not individuals. That's why they kind of went that route with it. And I thought it was cool. And then when we got these done, I found out it was the same. Yeah, man, just incredible. Pretty much anyone that came up during the invasion got robbed. You know? Oh, Hager wins with a drop kick. Oh, another drop kick.
Come on.
Yeah, oh, gourd busted. Yeah, and to be honest, I'm sure they tried including those things in those early Madden games, but I think they either they didn't have the tech for it, or they technically did, but it looked like utter crap, and they just decided they were just better off waiting to do it in the next one. Oh, he tapped out to the figure four!
Come on.
Hager gets the win. No, they didn't. The problem with the invasion angle is that they didn't really have any, like, crescendos. Like, what was exactly at stake, you know? Like, they introduced the guys, because here's the thing, like, and I watched several videos on this. The original idea was, with WCW, they would come out and they would do a new show, kind of like the early NXT, but it was just all WCW based with the roster and everything, but none of the channels wanted to pick it up because WCW literally just failed and nobody wanted to be associated with it then. So they couldn't do that, so they went with the backup plan and introduced ECW guys and formed the alliance, and they went from there. And what ended up happening is they had a completely bloated roster with guys not getting enough screen time, and it ended up, and then so many of those guys ended up leaving for other things and stuff. It's just unfortunate. Yeah, well, yeah, because they spent many years saying that WCW sucked. And then when they finally showcased them, of course the fans are going to boo them. They were conditioned to think they sucked. Well, and another thing, too, that I almost forgot about, let's see, what was I going to say? I can't believe I forgot it. another thing too with that is oh man, what was it? Yeah, the dry thing with the show. Yeah, because the issue they had, in addition to all that, is the fact that yeah, yeah, they didn't get because the tattoos was brand new. So they didn't have everything yet because all the focus went on not only those extra details, but also, the fact they introduced like freaking owner mode and everything. And they just went crazy with everything in that game. And then, but yeah, Gray Man, like basically overall the whole thing, like they just didn't have anything down really for those guys established because, like I said, they just spent so much time just shitting on them. Playing, yeah, EA tracks. Oh man, I grew up on those EA tracks. But yeah, like to be honest, what they should have done, and this is what I was gonna say, because what happened was immediately after the invasion angle ended, they got Ric Flair, they got the NWO, they got Goldberg. Like if they literally waited 1 year, they could have done the invasion angle with the original NWO guys and Ric Flair at minimum. And Goldberg, if they just waited a year. And hell, even Scott Steiner. I mean, there were 6 guys right there they could have had for that invasion. 6 A-listers if they just waited a year. The problem is they just didn't want to wait. Yeah, Sting was always going to be a toss-up because of everything. I mean, it was possible they could have got him, but it was a little bit of a toss-up. But the other guys, though, were guarantees. Yeah, basically what the stay home deal was is that well, yeah, because they got paid more money to stay home than to work for the WWF, so of course they stayed home. I don't blame them, especially after how WCW got all fucky at the end. I'm sure they needed a break. Wanted to measure like their options at the time, even though there was like nothing there anymore, because yeah, I think the issue with that is the fact that, man, I don't know. I think because the tattoos he had in real life, they couldn't quite get in the game, so they decided it was better to leave it blank than to have something that looked like crap, or just have something inaccurate, period. Alright. Alright, we're good. Opening match for IGW here is Hardcore Holly versus Tanaka. Yeah, I'm not sure why. If Michael Vick didn't have tattoos in the game on default, the only thing I can think of is they couldn't they couldn't get the accurate tattoos, so they left them blank, or they decided or they left it blank because I don't know. Maybe they just didn't have time, because they did squeeze a lot of shit in that game. So maybe they had to prioritize certain things over others, and then when it came to like the player design, they couldn't always get everyone 100% accurate. Oh yeah, and Eli's numbers. I gotta calculate Eli's numbers for this one.
How do you like me now?
So Eli got an 87. So he had a solid night.
Fight.
Interesting question. I haven't played a lot of Raw 2 yet, so I can't say for sure. I don't know. I think... Well, the thing is, Randy Orton wasn't a full star yet. Because if you look at some of those wrestling games, like, I watched a video on Here Comes the Pain, there are some wrestlers that get the full custom entrance treatment, and there's some that just get a default entrance thing. And because they prioritize certain wrestlers over others, because with those games at the time, the priority was improving the overall gaming experience. Creation was just used as a bonus. Oh yeah, it is. Exactly. You're exactly right, Greyman. Yeah, because wrestling rosters, it's so tough to get them accurate at the time of release because so much shit happens from starting to the end that you could have a wrestler, you could have you could get a brand new wrestling game and the roster could have guys in it that have been out of the company for months, full on months. So if you're playing as Orton and he doesn't have the right stuff on him, like tattoos and all that stuff, it's probably because because they couldn't get his accurate form down because they developed him before he made the changes. Like, if he had less tattoos in that game than at the time of the game was released in different costume, then that's probably it. Now, yeah. Yeah, if those little details, I don't know if the game has the option of putting text on trunks, but if they don't have the words Orton on the trunk, then it's probably because they didn't develop the ability to do it for the game. Now, if you can do it creating stuff, but it's not on his trunks, then it could either be that they couldn't develop it. It could have been that they didn't have that feature when they were making the wrestler, but then got it later and didn't have time to change it, or it was just a little detail they missed when making the wrestler because they prioritized other things.
2, 3, 4.
Little gut buster there. Goes for a second. Oh, Russian leg sweep. Yeah, exactly, Gray Man. It could have been all custom because they didn't have the tools yet for that stuff, and then they got the tools later and just put it in the edit section. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right, Gray Man. Like, I think what happens, they developed the wrestlers first and gave them the best accurate they could, and they got that all done first, and then when they were towards the end of the cycle, they added as many accurate parts as they could, and then they let it up to like the player to change it or not. I think that's probably what happened. Yeah, exactly. And the biggest thing is because this game's done in a retro kind of 2D style, while those games are 3D, which makes a huge difference for customization. That's why customizing this game is so wide open, because it's delivered in a certain format. Another gourd buster. Only Russian leg sweep. Oh man, he's out of breath. Yeah, exactly. Like, it takes a minute. Oh, here comes Crash. Ugh, pump handle slam. Yeah, exactly, they could. And a dragon screw. Tag team power bomb. Another tag team power bomb. Ah, third, jeez. It was awesome. I did one match with them opening. Tanaka's still wrestling, like in Japan stuff. Awesome, I know, passed away like in the late 2000s, but Tanaka's still wrestling. Alabama Slam goes for a cover. 2.9. Oh, he just stole his finisher, the Alabama Slam. Gourd Buster. Sorry, I only saw like I did see part of it, but I didn't see the rest of it because the text like cut it out before it could finish. I know you were talking about like Randy Orton's details on his trunk gear, like his evolution and standard stuff. But I didn't see the rest of it, so I couldn't see the rest of the question. But if I had to assume, I have to say, like, those, like I said, those... Yeah, unfortunately, because wrestling, it just takes a lot out of a guy. Oh, jeez, 98. Good lord. Alright. Yeah, it was a solid match for sure. But yeah, Kareem, if it has to do with the inaccuracy of that game with those details of Orton, it's probably because they just didn't have the tools to get it 100% accurate right on the spot. It was probably stuff that they did their best early on, and then when time was clocking down, they just added all the accurate details up until that time and let it up to the player whether to customize it right or not, because they just didn't have the time. Alright, next match is Farouk versus Andre the Giant here. Now after this stream, tomorrow's going to be the IGW 8-match pay-per-view. I still got 2 slots open for promotional guests if anyone wants them. One match will be against Crash Holly. The other one, I believe, is against Bradshaw. Fine detail and testing with those Thunderstorm graphics work. Detailed. I'm not sure off the top of my head about the workings of that. I assume that a lot of work. Yeah, like the developer of those Raw games would know way more than I would about that stuff. I could only guess on those things to the best of my knowledge, but the developers, they know about it. There might be some videos about that stuff circling around, I'm not sure. It's hard to say. Oh, real life. Oh man. My best guess is a really, really, really good designer. That's my guess. Like, cause all those wrestlers have people who design the clothes for them. So all the designers are pros. They know what they're doing. So they know all the tricks and all the ways of getting that stuff down. Because any wrestler that the company uses, no matter what tier, has potential to sell merchandise, and they want them represented in a good way. So they definitely want the best for those guys, especially if a guy is an up-and-comer like Orton. Or if it's a popular stable like Evolution was. Oh, big Irish whip counter right there. Andre has a big match in the pay-per-view. He'll be facing Walter for a title shot against Mike Awesome. Yeah, it's probably easier today than it was back then. I would think it would be at least. Farouk is tough though. Let's recover. Yeah, then it would take a lot of work then if it's that early. Oh, big, like, throw with a splash. Pile driver. Tombstone! The pin. Oh, 2.9. Oh, double powerbomb, the power of Farouk. Stomach claw.
Give up. Give up.
Yeah, screen press, yeah, exactly. Oh, he's trying to lift him, but Andre's not budging this time. Just tosses him over. Andre is getting a little out of breath here. Flying shoulder tackle. Andre catching his breath. Big swing.
Give up. Give up. Give up.
Punches from Farouk. Oh, look at the power. The press sends Andre out of the ring. Both men catch their breath. Oh, swinging neck breaker. Butterfly suplex. Suplex reversal. Dominator.
1, 2.
Oh, another 2.9 right there. Oh, he gets body slammed out of the ring. Farouk comes out.
2, 3.
Oh, Chris Adams coming down.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
It's weird. Looks like he's helping Andre out. That is... I wonder what he's playing at, though. Is he helping Andre, or does he go and just attacking Farouk? Oh, look at that big kick right there. This is interesting here. Tag team powerbomb. Swinging neck breaker. Oh, double power bomb. Bear hug. Oh, he has to tap. Andre gets the win. Jeez. Muta, Liger, Bulldog, and Viper have banded together to form international innocent details to come. It's interesting. It's called, hey, Star Fox. It's kind of ironic your guys are called International Incident when my next pay-per-view is going to be called International Incident. That's some interesting timing there. I mean, I don't care if they share a name. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Yeah, he's from Texas. I believe he's from Texas. Because I don't mind, because there's only so many good wrestling names to use for stuff that there's just some that they're just gonna share a name. See. But yeah, this next match. Okay, no worries on that, Star Fox. Those kind of things happen. Like I said, there's only so many names around. But yeah, I got a special free agent guest here in the main event, D'Lo Brown. Gonna make a little free agent appearance here against Dean Malenko. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was, especially for that time when he was just getting started. Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, yeah, Global Warning. Yeah, that is a good name. That's gonna be. I'm gonna have some fun forming that right there. We also just got a big update here from IGW. So he always does. That's what I love about it. He always shakes his head. It's just the power of the head shake. It gives him the strength. He needs the strength for the lowdown. But yeah, some news from IGW offices. Big news are coming. Apparently, Chris Adams and Walter have both stated that they are in an alliance of some form, and they plan on making themselves more known at the pay-per-view. So that is something to keep an eye out right there. Ooh, big armbar out of that Irish whip counter. Ooh, back suplex. Counter Irish whip. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker goes for a pin. Got 2.9 right there. Powerbomb counter.
1, 2.
Another 2.9. Nice. Oh, nice head scissors whip.
5 minutes.
Oh, gutbuster. Texas Cloverleaf hold.
Give up. Give up. Give up.
Oh, brainbuster.
1,
Goes
2.
for another cover. Another 2.9. Little Brown gets thrown in the, throws him in the corner. Ooh, another head scissors whip. Goes for his Texas Cloverleaf
Give up.
hold.
Give up. Give up.
My real name's Fenn. F-E-N-N. That's my name in real life. I don't really keep it a secret. It's just the guys on stream, they just call me like Cam. The guy who runs YWA, his name is Mr. Tuber or Commissioner Tuber, and they just call me that because I pretty much run it. But yeah, my actual name's Fenn. F-E-N-N. A lot of people say Finn, and I understand the confusion there, but it's with the E. Released. Really interesting. It's been apparently been name lore explained. Yeah, exactly. Oh man. If Punk was literally released, that'd be something interesting. Oh, he's doing a corner move. Oh, that avoided the lariat there. Oh, roll up. Elo needs to get show figures. Oh, German with the bridge. Yeah, I mean, it'd be funny if they did release another. Another roll up.
1, 2.
Ah, jumping DDT. Oh, counter with a drop kick. Long story short, he's trying to turn heel. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to turn heel without actually saying I'm a heel. I just think He does that. I think it's part of the shoot thing with him. Oh, big spine buster off the rope bounce. Oh, both men are down. Yeah, I that's what I think. They're trying to turn him heel because everyone knows CM Punk works better as a heel, and they want MJF to be the guy to beat him. Now, a lot of people say, roll up, but it's a rope break. Now, I don't know how well MJF will do as a face, but I think at this point, I think people will cheer for him no matter what, because they're ready for someone who's more AEW folk. An AEW-centered wrestler holding the big belt.
1, 2.
It totally came off good. Yeah, definitely. Alright, let's see how D'Lo does here. Big lariat there. Oh, stretch. Oh, and D'Lo has to tap. Dean Malenko gets the win. What did this match get here? 90, okay. Jeez. I mean, Stone Cold did shit like that, and he was pretty much a babyface-ish, so, I mean, it is possible. Let's see, I'm going to do the calculations here. So I got a 96 here. Though considering Punk trashed Cabana, there's a reason why. Yeah. Yeah, it's a shoot. It's not anything that I don't anything that's being said right now from anyone. I don't think it's actual legit stuff necessarily. I think it's like I think they're kind of ranting on stuff that is technically real, but I think it's all done for the benefit of a story. I don't think it's everyone's saying that it's all legit and real. I doubt it, because if they actually 100% felt like what they're saying and they were actually going to go out and say it, the company would get rid of them. They wouldn't keep them because there would be no point. They don't need the negative press. Well, Punk would have to be the heel. Tony, it's hard I don't know if Tony could be a heel because just mainly because I don't know how they would portray him as a heel, because it's not like he's like McMahon where he is like rich and all about money and stuff. Like he's more, his whole thing was for the fans. Like it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I see him more as like the Ted Turner of the company than a McMahon, if that makes any sense. Just a vocal Ted Turner, if that you know, it's hard for me to see him actually McMahoning it, because McMahon, I think, for all his weirdness, at the very least, I feel like he knew what to give in his role in those type of stories. Even at the end of later on, he went overkill with it. Like when he first started, he knew like how much to put in, and it worked. It's just the problem with Tony doing it is the fact that I mean, I just can't envision him like being portrayed as a heel. Like what about him could he do to make him come across as a heel like successfully, other than like maybe kissing all the WWE guys' asses literally? I mean, because here's the thing, he can't go out and do promos on like, oh, we're bringing back Ring of Honor, we're bringing back real wrestling, And then all of a sudden, oh, the WWE guys, they've been through a lot. They deserve the best. You can't play both sides. So if he's going to be a heel, owner, everything he does from here on out has to be heel attitude. So he can't be the one making all these announcements and changes or whatever, because it's too back and forth. He needs to assign somebody to be the good, news guy. Because he can't do good news and be a heel. It's too back and forth. It kind of messes with things. And made him as a character. Yeah, exactly, it did. You're exactly right. Because it's so weird. Brett did so much to set off the Attitude Era without actually technically being a part of the Attitude Era. It's kind of weird how that worked out. Not to mention here, we're gonna have a lot of tag matches here with the GSW turn here. All right. First match is I think Montreal was definitely not a work. That was a legit thing. If it was a work, it would have been exposed as a work long time ago. The fact that you still have a huge majority of actual people who were there saying that it was real, still saying that makes it real. Yeah, and McMahon had it coming. Now, I understand why here's the thing with this. I understand why McMahon did what he did. I get it, because you built this whole storyline around Brett versus Shawn. And Brett was leaving. He needed to drop the belt to Shawn. But he didn't want to drop the belt to Shawn because Shawn, being eloquent as he always is, during a conversation, Brett said that no matter how I feel about you, if we're in the ring together, you don't have to worry about me, yeah. Well, that's the thing, because that's the thing, because he said, I will, despite how I feel about you, I'll do anything, I won't, go on my way to harm you, and Shawn was like, well, I appreciate that, but I'm not going to do the same for you, and that pissed Brett off, and rightfully so, because he's doing all this shit for a guy he hated, and he doesn't even have the same courtesy to show respect to him, despite all of it. Yeah, I don't blame him, but the thing is, he didn't want to drop the belt at that pay-per-view. The plan was, it was going to end in a DQ or something like that. It was going to end in a way that kept the belt on Brett. And the thing with them is that's what he thought, but Vince and the guys, they went through every scenario and they just couldn't find one that worked in a reasonable way that would make it a pleasing scenario. And of course, Vince didn't want Brett to leave with the belt because he didn't want Brett to pull a Ric Flair. Because it was at a point in time where it would have been, killer for them, because they were already losing to WCW in the ratings. The other thing wouldn't have helped either. But yeah, Samoa Joe will be fighting John Cena. Well, not John Cena. What am I doing? It's not Cena. Cody Rhodes. Winner of this will probably get a contract for them here. But yeah, so that's why they decided to screw him over, because they just didn't want to deal with the possibility of over his rhetorical cast. Oh wow, called Cena. Yeah, probably. But yeah, he didn't want to drop it to him in Canada. Because here's the thing, and I get from Brett's perspective, Because here's the thing, it's not like I don't believe Brett when he said that he would leave the belt at WF. I'm sure he would have, but the thing is that Vince couldn't take that chance. He needed Shawn to have the belt at that match, bar none. That was the only solution to whatever they were trying to do. And yeah, he should have. At the end of the day, he should have trusted Brett. In my opinion, he should have trusted Brett and should have let things be. Because in hindsight, despite what, it's weird too. Despite what, there's LGC. Despite what Vince McMahon's fear were, they were unjustified. Yeah, to the competition. Even if Brett was honorable, Vince wasn't risking it. Yeah, because that's the thing. And I don't blame Brett for not wanting to drop to Shawn. Shawn was an asshole. I mean, not even a respectable asshole, just an asshole. And yeah, I don't blame him, but I think. But the ironic part about it all is that even if they went exactly as planned, WCW was already screwing themselves over already. All the contracts they did, I mean, with those guys, they were already dead. WWF didn't have to do shit. They could have just done their own thing and just made all the right, honorable choices, and they still would have won, because WCW literally signed their death warrant the moment they signed Hulk Hogan. I mean, they could have, not only could they avoid the screw job, they also could have avoided the decision of continuing with their pay-per-view after Owen died. If they stopped the pay-per-view, they still would have been fine. It's just that fear of WCW overtaking them made them blind to the right choice. Yeah, creative control, 3 days more main event, no TV, yeah. Yeah, he should have. But like I said, the problem is they built that whole pay-per-view around Shawn against Brett. You know, because Brett and Shawn was the big rivalry that they needed to work, because that's all they had going at the time. Well, maybe not had they all going at the time, but it was the thing that was hot. And they just, I don't know, at the end of the day, they needed everything to work the way they planned. They couldn't have their plans getting all fucked up because they couldn't afford WCW to get the advantage. Yeah, they should have. And here's the thing too, with the Owen thing, there's been pay-per-views before where they had to stop and then resume the next day. It sucked and the fans didn't really care for it, but it worked out. The pay-per-view ended up fine, whatever pay-per-view that it was. If they did that with the Over the Edge pay-per-view, everyone would have respected them for it. They wouldn't have complained. They would have got it, and it would have worked out just fine. But I don't know. It's just that paranoia. I mean, when shit got to shit, Vince just made the wrong choices. Yeah, and they made it work though, and it ended up being just fine, you know? And if they just would have done that with Over the Edge, then people would have respected them for it. And I think, in all honesty, I think they would have gained more fans out of that situation. Oh, here comes, Muscle Buster. Out of that, than them continuing the pay-per-view as is. Because at the very least, it was shown that WWF gives a shit about their wrestlers. And that would have been seen as something way over WCW, with the way they were treating their lower mid-card guys compared to the mid-card. It would have made WCW look like crap. Yeah, exactly. That was killer. I'm surprised he went for the Muscle Buster so soon and was so early in the match.
5 minutes gone.
Yeah, exactly. Because here's the thing. I'm sure it was just a pure accident. I don't think anything weird happened. It was just a pure accident. And you can't fault Vince for that. It's just when that happened, he should have stopped the pay-per-view. And he should have been like, sorry guys, we had a tragic thing. Oh, here, Dragon's sleeping. Here comes Bruiser Brody. He should have stopped the pay-per-view and said, "Sorry guys, big strike. We had an accident. Owens passed. We'll continue the pay-per-view at a slightly later date, but we need to stop right now. If you guys want money or readjustments or new tickets for the restart, talk to the ticket booth. It can be arranged or whatever." I mean, it wouldn't have killed them. It would have been seen as respectful. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is easier in hindsight, that's for sure. I mean, that's why I said that Vince making the choices he made, I don't follow him as much for Montreal as I do with the death thing. I feel like the death thing, I think, should have been a bit more obvious. But here's the other thing too, and I don't remember this. I don't remember if Owen was pronounced dead at the scene. Oh, look at that move. Or if he was pronounced dead later during the pay-per-view in the hospital. Because if he was still alive when he left the arena, I can understand them continuing the show. But if he wasn't, then that should have been a sign like, okay, we probably should stop this. Or at the very least, take like some time during the pay-per-view to like acknowledge the situation, help people out through it, and then give some time to like, oh, big suplex there. Another 2.9 right there. I don't know, if I say if they're gonna yeah, he did announce later. And hospital, but that, oh wow, Cody Rhodes gets the win. Yeah, he did. Yeah, it's sad, because, I mean, that's the thing, like, because here's the thing, if they were literally, like, if they believed they legit had to finish the pay-per-view, what they should have done is that they should have, in hindsight, I don't know if they could have done this at the moment, but they should have been like, okay, let's remove some matches from the card and dedicate some time to sorting through this and maybe, like, spending some time talking about Owen, you know, or something like that. Just spend some time to just like make it like feel like they're actually taking time to actually sort through it, and or whatever. I don't know. Like, I know they did tribute stuff later on for Owen, and I know that doing it the pay-per-view of would have been way too out in the open, like it's like too chaotic, but oh my god, that would have been so tasteless. He would have got shit if he did that. Sorry that we got a wrestler die on you. Here's a free hot dog. Ooh, that would have been bad. I think Brett would have left WCW, walked up into headquarters, and literally beat him up with the chair if he did that. Yeah, because if the EMT said that said he wasn't dead or anything, I could understand them continuing the pay-per-view. If he was still alive when he left, I could understand them continuing the pay-per-view because it was an accident, sure, but if he wasn't dead, that's fine. Although I will say the fact they didn't really clean up the ring for the next match kind of was a little bit cold. I think they should have done that. I think, sorry guys, you're not gonna have your match on pay-per-view. We have to make things right. So we'll have you main event Raw or something like that, you know? Yeah, I mean, exactly. Oh no, like the whole they didn't keep any, like there's two footages that the WF has fully sealed and will never release to public ever. One is Owen falling to his death at the pay-per-view, and the other is Draws being paralyzed during a SmackDown taping. Those two are locked, fully sealed. Like, you won't find those anywhere in the public. I mean they. Yeah, clean up the. Yeah, I think they should have cut a match and take time to make to show some respect. You know, because I feel like that would have gone a long way too. Because if he wasn't, because at the very least, like if what that happened to Owen, at the very least they should have took some time to put together something to say, we're sorry what happened to Owen. We wish him all the best. We're gonna continue the show, but we're gonna continue the show because we think that's what he would have wanted, or say something like that. I don't know if he would have actually wanted that, but at least if they took some time to acknowledge the situation and just showed some heart at the bare minimum, I think that would have gone a long way. I mean, they still could have stopped the pay-per-view, but if they didn't know he died, then they couldn't. I could understand them not like canceling the whole pay-per-view if he turned out to be fine, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. There's just ways around it. I mean, it's easier to think about it in hindsight because, you know, because of what do you call it? Because it's easier to think in the calm than when all the chaos is happening during a pay-per-view. I get that. It's just, the more and more you think about it, the more and more you kind of realize, man, they could have done so many different things to make that situation better than they ended up doing. If you like to leave, we have full refunds available. I don't know if they did. I mean, I would think that they would have, I don't know. Yeah, I think so too. Like, they had to. And that's the thing, like, they had an opportunity when that stuff happened to really show that they gave a shit. And I don't think they delivered on that very well at all. Alright, I almost forgot, this next match here is going to be Shamrock and Jericho going against free agent guests like Cactus Jack and Terry Funk. Yeah, I mean, exactly, because at that point in time, the work-shoot combo was such a big thing that people weren't quite sure what was going on either. You know, so I understand it was chaos. I definitely get that. And if he wasn't pronounced dead till later on in the hospital, if he left and he was alive, then I would get continuing the pay-per-view. If he died on the spot, then they should have stopped. If they knew he died right in that ring at that moment, they should have stopped what they were doing and just either stop the pay-per-view and resume it at a later date, or... Oh, shoot. It's meant to be a title match? Okay, I can fix that, LJC. I can fix that. Yeah, you caught it just in time. I forgot it was. Yeah, now that I think about it, I do remember seeing that. I can't believe I blanked on that. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think if I was in that situation, I think I would have done more to show that we legit care and we weren't gonna just move on like he just sprained his knee or something. Okay. Yeah, and that's the thing too. I mean, the audience, when they saw that happen, that's quite a big deal right there. You know, I wonder if that pay-per-view is on Peacock, because if it is, I might give it a watch, because I am legit curious about how that pay-per-view ended up going with all that happening. Because I know that, I think that was the last Over the Edge event, because they didn't want to continue that with all that thing. Because the original intention was Over Edge be a regular thing, like they were doing with all their other pay-per-views at the time. But with that happening, they decided to not go with that, which was the smart choice. But yeah, I think... Yeah.
Fight!
Yeah, I know they definitely had to edit out. But yeah, I think they could have done more. Even if they didn't stop the pay-per-view, which I can understand if they didn't know if he was dead, continuing the pay-per-view. I can totally get that decision, but I think they needed to do more to, like, say, to show some respect for someone that had something like that happen on pay-per-view. Because if they did that, big tag team move right there, it would have helped them a lot. I mean, they still could have ended the pay-per-view even if they knew he was alive anyway, just because it was such a big thing. But I would get continuing if he was alive. I would get that decision. It's just, they should have took another 10 to 15, come out, clean the ring, while one of the authority guys came out and said that Owen had an accident, and reveal it. Owen had an accident. We hope for a speedy recovery from him. He's on his way to the hospital. We're going to continue with this pay-per-view because we think that's what he would have wanted. And if anyone wanted refunds or something like that, that's fine. Full refunds, that's fine, and you can see the ticket booth for that. Or if they decide to cancel it and resume it another day, they could have said, unfortunately, yeah, I bet it is. I bet it took a lot of, like, I bet it really set a really... yeah, and like I said, like, if they were gonna decide to stop the pay-per-view, they could have said, unfortunately, because of Owen's accident, we're gonna stop the pay-per-view and resume at a later date. Like, anyone who bought tickets here you can come to that one without any charge. If you still want refunds, you can get them at the ticket booth. You know, stuff like that. Just those little things they could have done. And I understand that wrestling at that point wasn't exactly a deadly occupation, but it still was dangerous. I mean, they should have been prepared for scenarios like that, especially when he was going to descend from the sky like that. Because I did hear that Owen was hesitant about doing that, but he decided doing it anyway. But no one knows why he decided to go ahead with it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that would have gone a long way. You know, and I know that WF was a little strapped for cash at the time, but even then, you had to think that they had enough money to handle something like that. I mean, they did that with the pay-per-view when the power cut out, and everything worked out fine. I mean, if they couldn't do it with that, then I don't know. I think their fear of losing to WCW got in the way of their common sense with that and this Montreal screw job. Because I think if they really, like, thought about what was going on at WCW and saw what was happening, they would have realized, oh wait, we have this. We could just let them fuck themselves over, and we could just do our own thing, and we'd be fine. Yeah, I get it, because unfortunately Owen got fucked over with his contract because he couldn't leave with his family. He had to stay. And because he had to stay with the combination of the botch he had with Steve Austin, he had to take a lot of shit, and he didn't deserve it. But it is what it is with that. Yeah, exactly. He couldn't, and I think if yeah, it was, and that's the unfortunate part with it all is that an unfortunate part with both him and Brett is that if those injuries didn't happen with them, they could have wrestled into the 2000s easily. Same thing with Stone Cold. Stone Cold didn't get hurt. He could have wrestled throughout the Ruthless Aggression era show. And Nugget, yeah. I think Vince's personal. I think Vince taking so much stuff. Oh, spinning toe hold. I think Vince taking so many things personally, I think, did lead to a lot of strife. Because he did that with a lot of wrestlers that could have earned him a ton of money, and he didn't use them right. He let personal stuff get in the way of it, and it kind of got in the way with business. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, the Stardust thing. But yeah, it did. Because that brawling style is such a big thing for him. And that's the thing too. This is why I said that the Next Generation era had more technical matches than the Attitude Era, because Attitude Era was all about hardcore, and it worked. Because so many guys in the Attitude Era weren't exactly like like big wrestling, like technical wrestlers, but they had a lot of them had that X factor. Lion Tamer here.
Give up.
Yeah. Belly to belly slam right there. Yeah, he did. It's like all of Vince's fuckery. Oh no, like suplex.
2, 3.
Yeah, exactly. But it worked. I mean, but those wrestlers were over. Yeah, exactly. I got an 81. A little retention here for the tag champs. I don't believe I saw a 2.9 in that match. It was kind of it was kind of on the short end a little bit. So I don't think it really went that far enough. Yeah, pretty close. Yeah. You know, I almost forgot that Too Cold Scorpio's the champion. I remember he won it off Vader some time ago. But the next match here is a 6-man tag match, or dubbed by LGC a Texas Death Match. This match will have a 30-minute time limit as well. The teams of HBK, Stun the Stun Master, exactly. You know, it's HBK rivalry, yeah. And who else was there? Hold on. Yeah, I noticed that a lot of you guys, it's become kind of tough for you guys to kind of balance out some guys. Was it? HBK, Stone Cold. What was the other guy? Let me look at my phone. Sometimes my handwriting isn't exactly up to par. Dustin. Okay, Dustin. Alright. Shoot, the internet's being a little fucky. Alright. Okay, so... Alright, hopefully I don't lose connection. I am getting a warning here. But if that does happen, I will resume as usual. Just thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a warning. Because I got a little warning. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes it just pops up. But that's just something to kind of keep in mind with that. Let's see. MJF. It would suck, though, because we're so close to the end here. Bart Gunn and Vader. I don't think Bart Gunn has had a match yet here. I'm not quite sure. Ah, okay. Hiccup, interesting. Okay. Brawl for All, it is technically. Everything's based on him in his Japan days, but it is kind of Brawl for All variant. His moveset's, like I said, moveset is all Japan based, but his look I think is Brawl for All style. Alright, let's see how this match goes here.
What?
Yeah, the what's. That's kind of sometimes it's one of those things because each guy, the guy's custom interests, they reflect certain things, and sometimes when you put them in the tag, sometimes some awkward stuff happens when you have guys just waiting for the other guy just to show up. Yeah. Oh, some struts. Now, I think MJF and Stone Cold would have had a fantastic rivalry in Stone Cold's prime as Stone Cold. Them shit-talking each other would have been fantastic, and I feel like their wrestling styles would have complemented each other super well. Vader gets tagged in. I will say, I do love this MJF edit. Here comes Dustin, his new AEW style right here. Oh, right into an armbar counter. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's just a shame that we never really it is unfortunate. Like there's so much that could have happened that didn't, and I think it's just circumstances. It happens a lot with those kind of things. Just people get hurt. People go in and out, people don't get along, because I remember, a lot of people wondered why, when Flair joined the WF, why him and Hogan never had a thing. And the thing is, and I remember, they tested in house shows, and it was crap. Like, them working, they did not work well with each other at all in the ring. It was so weird. Like, they just couldn't gel. And my theory on that is because both of those guys are receiving style wrestlers. Like, their matches are them taking crap from the other guy, and then warming up, and then putting their big moves in for the win. Yeah, they did them later on. Oh, some DX special. They did them later on, but I think at the time it didn't work because I think Hogan might have been a little. Yeah. Oh, Stone Cold Stunner on MJF goes for a cover.
1, 2.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and since they're both receiving style, it kind of made it tough for, like, I think the matches to be compelling. And I think it made it tough because Hulk Hogan and Flair aren't used to, like, being on the giving end of those things. And I think later on in Nitro, even before he turned Hollywood, I think it worked better because I think I think Flair and Hogan were a little bit more diverse then. I think they kind of had a better chance to to kind of work with each other a little bit more consistent, and they could work some stuff out. I think in WWF they didn't really have that chance because WWF, they didn't want to waste time with Flair or something like that. They didn't want to waste time with the guys. They wanted guys to be ready to go immediately. In WCW, they kind of let them work on it a little bit because they let the wrestlers have a lot more control. Yeah, that's the problem I have with MMA. I love MMA, but sometimes when you invest so much in a possible match and it ends in 30 seconds, ooh, big finishing move right there. Yeah, I feel sorry for Vader. I feel like he was such a good wrestler. I feel like his style of wrestling just rubbed a lot of guys the wrong way, and I think he just never recovered from it. Oh, reversal, because he was like all Japan style. Yeah. And like I said, and that's the thing with wrestling, you could say that wrestling doesn't always, like, deliver, just like other sports and stuff. But at the very least with wrestling, because they offer that level of, like, control, like, there's more chances of you seeing something great. But with MMA and all that, because there isn't, it's always a crapshoot. You literally just don't know what you're gonna get. And when you have all the events pay to watch, oh, power slam with the cover, 2.9. It makes it tough to like really just. It makes it tough to justify spending money when you believe there's a good chance you're gonna get robbed in match quality. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I will say I did see some older MMA stuff, and while, yeah, it still has that issue, I kind of like that it has that kind of anything can happen vibe, because the current MMA, it still kind of has it, but everything has been so polished up that I don't know if it still delivers that, but the old school kind... Ah, super kick. Vader salt. No one is in as glaring bad stand-up. And that's the thing, too. It's like... Oh, both men are down. That's the thing, too. It's like everyone's so good that... And that's the other thing, too. Oh, chokeslam. I understand why they have guys only fight, like, yearly or so for training or whatever, but... I don't know. I just feel like you wait all year to see a guy fight. If it ends in 30 seconds, it kind of feels like a rip a little bit. Yeah, and it makes it tough. Revenge the fact that she kept it from. And that's another thing too that unfortunately Vader missed out on both eras, because Vader barely missed out on the NWO era because he left just before all that was starting to get hyped up, and he left right just when Attitude Era was beginning, and he missed out on both, you know, and it kind of sucks. But like I said, he was an All Japan guy. That was his style, and people just didn't. I think he fared better in WCW because WCW still tried to treat wrestling like a sport. Oh, Ace Crusher. Oh yeah, huge. Yeah, he was a huge dick. I mean, it's almost like comical how much of a dick he was. Even when he got better and he was, after he came back and like got sober and stuff, even then he still was probably a little bit of a dick. Even then, it's just who he is. He's just a dick. And Bret Hart, and of course it rubbed guys like Bret Hart the wrong way, because Bret Hart was he was just a no nonsense guy. He told it straight. Yeah, yeah, it was a big famous one. Ooh, ooh. Oh, he countered. He was looks like he was going for the heat seeker there. Yeah, he blocked Shane Douglas too. Yeah, it's crazy. Big twisted neck breaker there. Yeah, exactly, he did. Double team suplex. Ooh, Barton Buster, double team suplex. Oh man, Razor. Man, that will talk about someone. I will say though, like, despite what Hulk Hogan did, I feel like Razor and Kevin Nash to some extent, I feel like they did make attempts to deliver actual matches out of everything. Oh, big power bomb. And deliver some form of flexibility. But to this day, through watching Reliving the War, a big issue that I've also noticed. Power bomb. Another big. Let me forward about Douglas won it. Oh, pinning. Nice, nice. That's a great one to see. But yeah, I mean, in hindsight. In hindsight. Another big issue with them is the fact that they never really formed a solid WCW like loyal faction like at all. Like WCW always felt like they were just never on the same page, and that was a big issue right there because you had NWO coming in doing all this crap, and you rarely see WCW guys helping each other out. That was another big thing there. I felt like because I felt like it kind of feels like it's just like. NWO is just too OP. Like, there's not a sense of, like, teamwork. Yeah, because I know there's definitely times where the guys did help each other, definitely, but I think it should have been more often, especially during Starrcade. Yeah, and there needed to be, I think. I think there needed to be a bigger effort. It looks like this match is going to end in a tie. To drop it, yeah. Yeah, they did. I got a 95, not bad. Let's calculate LJC, and then we got one more match. Oh yeah, they did. And I mentioned this before on stream, but the way I would have done... Nice seeing you, DPS. Yeah, well, we got room for more there. But yeah, I think another thing they could have done with Starrcade is that they could have had a match. But I think what they should have done is, instead of what was happening, I felt like what they could have done is over the course of the match, they could had at some point you could have had all the WCW guys in the audience because there was a ton of them. They could have like at some point came out and surrounded the ring to prevent the NW guys from interfering. And that would have been a show of solidarity, and then Hogan was distracted by that, then Sting would have snuck up, did his thing, and then would have been like then he would have gave up. Even if you want to still do the Brett, you could have Brett like lead the charge of getting the WCW guys around the ring, and then get rid of Nick Patrick, who was trying to screw Sting over. You still could have done all that, but still had a better match and more memorable moment. because at least with that you would have showed some form of like WCW not taking their shit anymore instead of like what actually happened. But yeah, that's all with the benefit of hindsight. But if they were gonna have that many guys sit out on that pay-per-view, they should have done something with them against the NWO. Sting was not his best self, or didn't. Yeah, it's weird because it's ironic because during Sting's biggest moment ever, he was, in terms of wrestling, he was completely out of shape. It was weird. Yeah, and that's the thing. And the thing is, they could have worked around all that. They still could have tried to make a match worse. First of all, Hogan got way too much offense in. They should have been more even, and Hogan knew that. They should have been more even with the offense. Yeah, and the fast count. Here's the thing: they shouldn't even done the fast count. What they could have done is they could have had Nick Patrick try to sneak one up on Sting, and then Bret Hart stopped him from doing it. That's what they should have done. They shouldn't even done. They should have played it like a straight match. Yeah, no, scratch all that. They should have played it as a straight match with WCW guys stepping up and preventing NW guys from charging the ring, allowing Sting to take advantage of Hogan being distracted. That's the way it should have happened. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense if he was on drugs. Yeah, it was, because they wanted to cash in on Bret being there. They wanted to do all that stuff. They got cute with it. It didn't need to be cute. You had an 18-month build-up. The match was enough. You didn't need to do any more with it. You're overkilling it. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, they should have made him a referee. And they should have just let, what they should have done is have Nick, and if anything, played a straight match. Nick Patrick is an NWO guy. He plays straight to his loyalty to WCW. Had the WCW guys surround the ring, defend NWO guys from crashing in, show solidarity, get Hogan distracted, and he gets snuck up on. Sting delivers stuff, and he gives up. That way, Hogan can claim he was distracted, and it didn't count, and he can still claim protection of character, and it still would have showed strength in WCW and Sting. You know? Yeah, and that's the thing, too. He could have won clean, too. It was a draw, actually, LJC. It was a... I'm doing the calculations now. I got distracted by the chat. It didn't have a run-in. He counted fast. He tried to do the fast count. No, there wasn't. It's ironic. There wasn't even a run-in. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember if there was a run-in or not during that. But overall, I think there was a way to book that match to make WCW look better without being too cute and anything, and still protect Hogan's ego about being Hollywood Hogan, and still make Sting look strong. There is a way of doing it that would have worked. But they didn't do it. They got cute, and that's it. Even if the match wasn't a 5-star match, if they could have at least gotten it to like 3.5 in terms of quality, even if they didn't do any sort of trickery anyway, if they just like let the match be clean with Sting winning and Hogan actually, you know, putting somebody over, you know, once every few million years. Kind of only got when it came down to them. Yeah, it's crazy, and a lot of it is just because. Yeah, they stuck with the key moves and just made it like kept it simple: strike, punch, kick. And just threw in the leg drop, a body slam, scorpion death drop, scorpion deathlock. Yeah, it didn't need to be a barn burner match. It just needed to just be executed well enough. You know, you didn't have to have Sting do a bunch of crazy moves. Just the moves he could do in his sleep, and Hogan could do the moves in his sleep. Just coordinate it well, make it last like 10 to 15 minutes, and he would have been fine. You know, you would have protected, you would have had staying good. Hogan should have dropped it clean and just accepted it instead of throwing his fragile ego to the wind. Yeah, I mean, there's ways of doing it. Yeah, exactly, it would have. And even if WCW couldn't help but get cute, there was a way of being cute without affecting the match quality whatsoever. Because that whole preventing the interference thing, you could have had, like, the solidarity thing with NWO and still have the match go on as normal. That way you could have had, like, you could have done two things with Owen Stone. You could have kept WCW united and put Sting over clean. I'm getting way sidetracked with all this stuff here. Hulk Hogan defending the belt against Vader. Yeah. It's rumors. It's never been that whole thing has never been fully cleared up. Most of the thing is that, and here's the thing too, apparently Nick Patrick has always had a tendency to not do a fast count. Well, apparently they knew this ahead of time, that he did a shit fast count, but they picked him anyway because he was relevant to the story. Oh, okay, so winner. So this is weird. So LGC, you got second place by 1 point. Eli got 87, you got 88, and I got 96. This is one of those weeks where everyone just does crazy good. Yeah, exactly. I know, it's weird. I mean, I have lost, like, events, so it's just, I don't know, it's like...
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
I know, I don't know why. I think, to be honest, I think it's just the roster I have. I think I just found, like, a good, like, group of guys that just work well off each other. Yeah, I don't know, like, there's just some weeks where everyone just gets, like, just high numbers, and there's some weeks where everyone's just crap. I mean, I remember a little bit ago, like, the West, like, we had a lot of, like, it just wasn't good. That's why booking's key. You know, booking is the biggest key right there, and making sure that you have a roster where everyone can gel together, because sometimes you can book a match and it just doesn't gel, like, at all. Yeah, Vader definitely would have been Team WCW if he was a part of that. Oh, no, I balance them. For sure. Like, what I do for TWN and YWA, I have a 226-point system. So, anything I use for those, I take the edit, I clone them, and I adjust them so that no wrestlers get any sort of advantage. Yeah, and it works, and I do it for YWA too, as well. So, there's no issue with stuff. Because I don't want... Because really, I want the winner of the match to be based on the wrestler themselves and not having a point advantage. Yeah, exactly. Because some guys do that, for sure. Oh, here comes Savage to help out. He actually has a title match against Hogan, I believe, soon. I have to see how that's going to work. Oh, definitely Hogan.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting because with that title situation, Yeah, exactly. I get you, Gray Man. No worries. Yeah, yeah. It just recently joined NWL. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, even Magnum TA, he was forced to join NWL.
Break. One, two.
Yeah, it didn't. You know, it was weird, but I think at first people didn't, but once you had that rivalry with DDP, I think it was forgotten because that DDP rivalry was so good. Personally, I think if WCW said no to Hogan, I think Randy Savage would have been the perfect turncoat leader for NWO because you wouldn't have to change much of anything in terms of like booking, and he would have been a better talker. He would have wrestled more matches. I mean, maybe not a better talker. He would have been a more consistent heel. Yeah, it is weird. And apparently, originally, Sting was going to be the guy that portrayed WCW. That could have worked too, but the whole war and everything would have changed completely if it was Sting. But I think, in my opinion, it should have been Savage that was the leader. I think that would have been a better choice. Yeah, exactly. But I think, yeah, they were both high energy. I just think between the two, if I was going to pick between Hogan and Savage for what I was going to do with all that, I would have picked Savage. Because I think Savage, no, 2.9. I think Savage would have been more willing to put over guys, and I think that will lead to a lot more cool stuff. He wasn't hurt, it was just story building. Yeah, he is looking strong. Oh, look at this. Who's coming down? Looks like MJF looking to help out Vader. Oh, powerbomb with the cover. He would have, yeah, exactly. I mean, that whole rivalry was because that whole rivalry began because Savage legit they asked Savage what he wanted the ending of the match to be against DDP, and he said he wanted to take the cutter and lose, put DDP over. If it was Hogan, he would have said, "We're doing that leg drop, brother." You know, and that would have been the end of it. You know, but because Savage did that, we had one of the greatest rivalries ever. Because he was willing to put someone over. Even though DDP technically didn't win the rivalry, no one remembers the result. They just remember how great it was. Oh, look, at Vader wins the belt. Yeah, it doesn't work for me, brother. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had Disco Inferno beat him. And it wasn't booked. They were pissed at it. Oh, looks like Hogan's not happy. And LGC just earned 6 points with that win with that belt. Oh, that Jericho, not Disco Inferno, Jericho. Yeah, that's who it was. Oh, it may have been Disco too, I don't know. Oh, I'm so glad the stream continued as is. No breaks with that. Alright, I'm gonna have to do some point calculations, but solid night. Tomorrow's gonna be the IGW International Incident pay-per-view. I still have open slots open here. Yeah, Kurt Angle, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I still have slots open. Two of them is one's against Crash Holly, the other one's against Bradshaw. If any guys want their wrestler on the pay-per-view against those guys, let me know. It's first come, first serve kind of scene. Don't let someone else blade you. Yeah. The other slot, the broadcast belt. There are some guys, Luger, King Kong Bundy, and Bart Gunn. Those guys laid claim for that belt. I don't plan on doing a fatal four-way match or anything like that because I'm trying to save points. But I think I am going to do it based on performance of of these last divisional events. I will, LGC. Or to hurt him. I actually, well, the next YWA event is going to be the 14th, the pay-per-view. I have your guy booked at the opening match. So he's going to be the first of the first right there. So that's going to be the early thing right there. In the back, Hogan and Savage were livid. Hogan says the next time he sees Vader, he will get revenge. Painted. What he painted? A target on his back. Okay. Lamb to slaughter. Say to stay in the YWA then. Yeah. As a general rule, I usually when it comes to like use of wrestlers in TW and YWA, the big rule is the created wrestlers are for YWA and real wrestlers are for TWN. There are some odd exceptions to that, because Blackman's in it because he was in before the system we used, so he kind of got the exception for that, although at some point if someone wants to see Blackman in TWN, we might have to make arrangements on that. But I mean, burning his points on rematch. Oh, that'd be funny. Let's see, what else? And also because, also another thing too is some like super indie wrestlers, like guys you wouldn't even have heard of, those are okay in YWA. Video game characters can be used in either one. Yeah, I doubt he isn't afraid of the NWO, that's for sure. I'm trying to think. Okay. Random pick. That's tricky. To be honest, I think if no one does, I might just use a couple free agents. I only had one free agent originally booked, but if no one makes those claims, I will do. I think what I'll do, if you, you can pick the random ones. I'll send you the free agent list, and you can pick a couple guys from that if no one claims anything. But a lot of people may claim for that. I'm gonna have to really I really have to think about that. But yeah, Lesnar. All right, I'll put that in the books there. Lesnar. I'll edit that in, and then. I appreciate that though, cause definitely don't want to start streaming without anyone on the card. Sweet. All right, Lesnar. All right. But yeah, that'll be the stream for Wednesday. Thursday, I'm not quite sure. I think we're probably gonna do the next cycle. After Wednesday. Unless somebody has a pay-per-view they want to do after mine. But it would be very it would be a little bit it would. Oh yeah, a good strong match. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, geez, just two aggressive guys. Crash is a junior wrestler though, so if you want a guy to fight against Crash, that's just something to keep in mind, that he is a junior wrestler. Huge Shermans. Yeah, definitely. Oh man, I think. Ooh, Jericho. Yeah, who has Jericho? LGC has Jericho. I mean, if he says it himself, I'll book it. Like I said, it's first come, first serve on those. You know what? I always loved Crash Holly. I always thought he was a great talker. Or a cruiser from... I don't think there is. I think there are some that are in free agency I could use. Mysterio's around, Juventude's around. I don't think Ultimate Dragon... No, Ultimate Dragon is a cruiserweight. He's around. But I'll have to see if anyone claims. Yeah, I'll have to see. Sweet. Alright, we got some Jericho action. Alright, that's booked. I'll figure it out. I think what I'm gonna do for the broadcast, but I think I'm gonna do it based on the best match the guy was in. I don't quite remember who had the best match in this round for their guy, but I'm gonna take a look. I will say though, like I think what I might do in the future is I might put together a contender list, because there are guys that it'd be good to have something like that, but I'm gonna have to work on the details to that, because determining like who's a contender and isn't would be a lot easier for YWA as opposed to this, because so much goes on here. Bargun's 95. I have the numbers here actually. I can actually look now. Bundy's match got a 98, but he was in a tag match though. And then Luger's match had a 91 again. No, it had a 92. So very competitive. So technically Bundy had the highest, but because all three of you guys did different matches, there are other factors to take place. So I'm gonna have to think about it a little bit. I will say though, I think after whoever wins that match, the other two guys that don't get picked will be next up. In my opinion, that's how I'm gonna do it, because it would make sense to like do it like that. But I'll have to look through stuff to be sure, because I think there's no reason why we can't have the belt being defended across shows. But let's see. Knocked out again, yeah. Dr. Death, yeah, for sure. Alright, I think that's gonna do it here. But yeah, pay-per-view tomorrow. Some big news, big updates that's gonna happen at that, so keep an eye out for that. And first IGW pay-per-view, gonna be an 8-match pay-per-view, should be pretty cool there. And then Thursday, I'm probably gonna start the cycle again, gonna do the next round. It'll be round 6 of season 2, so we're over halfway. We'll be over halfway through the season. But yeah, guys. Thanks for watching. In case you want to chat with anyone at the Campy Company, you don't want to use the YouTube comment section, we do have a couple options. First one is we have a Discord channel. You can find a link to an About page / About section of our channel. We also have a community tab on our channel as well. You can access that anywhere at any time. We also have a Patreon page. The main goal of the page is to raise money for the channel, to give the channel a bigger budget to do more ambitious things, and also start making merchandise for the channel as well. And merchandise will be based on aspects of the channel that you guys enjoy, like maybe some YWA gear, some maybe TWN gear, maybe some merchandise that features one of your guys' promotions. That's always possible. But any support we get for that overall is much appreciated. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.